Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is Jay Lee's Corner. I am, of course, Jay Lee, and this is the review for tonight's episode of course, I'm moving the camera. I'm just always so unorganized. This is the review for tonight's episode of Queen Sugar. It was season 2, episode 5. Oh my god, episode 5. Yes, my hair is down. Yes, it's aggravating me, but yeah, I have to just deal with it. But if you have not done so already, as we always know, first things first, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything. It just lets you know when I have new content on my channel, when I have new videos up and things like that. So please, I do love new subscribers, so please subscribe. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, and that's it. Free. You ain't got to worry about nothing else no more. And whenever Jay Lee Corner have a video, you will be able to know that she has a video. So please subscribe. Bun will be in full effect hopefully next week. Because I paid to get my hair done, so I'm not going to put up in a bun just yet. But, you know, I'm here in Michigan. It's warm weather, so you probably can hear my fan. Because I don't feel like I have my air conditioner on just yet, because then I'll get cold. So I am sitting by my fan. So hopefully that is not too much noise for you guys. But let's just get started on this review of Queen Sugar. Today's episode was... I'm still moving the camera. It was okay. To me, it reminded me of yesterday's episode of, why can't I have and have nots, Lord Jesus. Only because if you didn't see, no, not much. I mean, only because if you missed this episode, it's not like you would have missed a lot, so to speak. So still a good episode, but it was more just conversations and stuff like that. So the show starts off today with, you know, Charlie's at a therapy session and Micah isn't there, and she's calling Micah, but Micah is somewhere else in Louisiana with his auntie Nova, building houses with I think it's called Habitat for Humanity, if I'm not mistaken, and he's, you know, there doing that. So even though she's a bit frustrated, she won't show it in front of the therapist. But she just says, okay, to Micah, like, it's fine, you know, do whatever you're gonna do. And, you know, she then proceeds to, you know, try to leave the doctor's office, but the therapist is like, well, you know, we can still take this time to, you know, for me to get to know you. And of course, Charlie's reluctant to do that, but she does eventually stay to talk to the doctor. Now, while she's talking to the doctor, she wanted to only focus on Micah, basically because, as we know, Charlie has a control freak issue. You know, she has control issues, basically, and she does speak a little bit about her parents and how her mom expected her to be perfect at any time. Oh God, why am I keep knocking the damn camera over? And her mother wanted her to be kind of like perfect, and anything outside of what her mother deemed perfect was not discussed. So she's thinking that she's trying to raise Micah in a different way so that he doesn't have that same type of upbringing. So maybe he won't feel how she probably felt when she was younger. Is maybe not understood enough, or maybe not enough communication. That probably is the reason why she's consistently in Micah's space to figure things out, because she's trying to make up for what she felt she lacked with her relationship with her mom as a child. So that's what I think that is. I'm always fixing my damn clothes too. Micah, of course, so that they didn't show much of the conversation between her and the therapist. So that's kind of all they showed. We do see Micah, who seems to be opening up a little bit more. He's there with his Aunt Nova, and they're, you know, trying to help build the homes and everything. And he just feels a little bit more light. You know, he doesn't look so depressed or like something is just burning, you know, on his brain that he has to get out. And the funny part is, you know, as they're doing things, we see, you know, as I call him, Nova's future baby daddy, future husband, Dr. Dubois, pops up to help. You know, he's there helping build the home as well. As you know, Habitat for Humanity have volunteers from all over, so you know it does make sense. But you know, Micah is introduced to the doctor, find out what he's doing, and we have that whole scene. Later on, as we see Davis come to pick up Micah, Michael is still enthused to introduce. Well, no, Michael was enthused to let his father know that Dubois was really a doctor, how he, you know, was trying to help things with our people. And it was funny that when Micah said our people, Dave was looking like, who people you talking about, Micah? Our people? They people? We light skin, they dark skin. Our people is different. So he looked like it was a shock to hear his son say our people. But I was like, you know, I don't like Davis that much anyway, so whatever. So as him and Micah are going to leave, he sees a girl, a lady, a woman, and he's like, who is that? Now clearly, you shouldn't be worried about who that lady be, because you barely divorced. You already was a slut in them streets with them prostitutes, and you was a pimp for your team. You need not be worrying about no lady who's standing around. Plus, ain't you supposed to be coming to pick up your son? Why you concerned with who that lady is and looking at her like she's a snack? Dave was looking at that girl like he wanted to eat her up. And I'm like, that's your damn problem, Davis. You're too worried about the coochie in front of you. You need to worry about your damn son and what's going on in his life. But whatever. So the girl is like a famous singer or whatever. So him and Micah are listening to the girl talk. And when the media notices that, you know, Davis is also there, you know, oh well, you know, another star is here, and they say, oh, you want to come talk to us, Davis, about, you know, what you guys are doing here? And I thought to myself, Davis ain't doing shit there besides picking his son up. He ain't got no hammer, no nails, no gloves on. He ain't cut no goddamn wood. He barely probably moved some dirt out the damn way. He should have said no. He should have let Micah talk. But of course, Davis being Davis, he want to go and showboat. He want to shuck and drive for the cameras. So, you know, he do walk up there and say, you know, my son is here helping do things, and you know, we can build things together, all while looking at his little snack new girlfriend. Davis, you should have just went, picked up your son, and took your ass home. That's what you should have did. I'm like, would you really look at this girl and you with your son, who know you was already in a scandal for fucking that lady and all the other craziness stuff that was in the news? You need not be trying to meet new women yet, only because you're trying to die down from your scandal. You know, Charlie can date other people. I feel like she can, because it wasn't as if she did anything wrong. But you need to clean up your image a little bit. You need to get yourself together first, Davis. Anywho, so we do see that Charlie is then mad at Nova, because she does give Nova a call, and she's upset, thinking that Nova intentionally helped Micah avoid the counseling session. And Nova like, what? I didn't know that boy had a counseling session. He told me he had school and he can make it up with some kind of weird hours. I ain't been in school in a long time, so I don't know what them hours mean. And then, you know, Charlie does calm down because she realizes that she's just overreacting. But Nova does realize that something is up and there's some kind of problem. But me, myself, I would tell my sister, bitch, don't be checking me about your child. Well, I wouldn't have said bitch because I don't call my sister bitch. But I would have said, Veronica, don't be checking me about DJ. That's my sister, my nephew name. But yeah, you know, Charlie really called her and checked her as if Micah would have told her the truth all the way. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't, Nova didn't know. And he was helping building the house for the damn humanity people. It's like, get over yourself. So, you know, with that whole thing, and, you know, Nova saying there's something wrong, and Charlie's like, no, you know, I'm fine. I'm just, you know, a little wound up. It's been a long day. I'm okay. And then, you know, they end that conversation. So Nova at that time was actually having dinner or having drinks or a little lunch date, you know, we'll say, with Dr. Dubois, her future husband. And, you know, when he's asking her, you know, can we have dinner later? Because clearly he likes her. she's like, well, no, I have to help my sister. Technically, she was lying because that ain't what she was supposed to be doing. But she did really actually go see her because she knew something was off. So she does go by Charlie's to see what's kind of going on and talk to her sister. She also like does a cleansing of the house. You know, some people who are spiritual people or whatever, not spiritual as in they do cleansings. I can't think of the word right now what it is. But she like lit some sage or something just to clear whatever negative energy could have been in the space that Charlie is now living in. And they just had a conversation, and you know, even with that conversation, Nova, was it Nova? Yeah, Nova brought up, you know, because Charlie was talking about her mother and how she can remember how when she was younger she was playing the piano and she was really good, but when she had to go actually play the piano in front of people, she froze up. And she brought up how her mother had wanted her to do it and stuff like that. And, you know, as she's talking, Nova kind of says to her, Charlie, it's okay, but you do know that your mother made you, you know, a control freak. And I thought that was one way of them to acknowledge her mother may have been standoffish, for lack of a better term. So that part was what it was. We then see Micah and Davis having a father-son basketball game. Now, I like this scene. I wish the scene was a little bit longer. It was where, you know, Davis was like, hey, let's, you know, shoot some hoops. For every basket we make, for every basket I make, I get to ask you a question. And for every basket you make, you get to ask me a question. It goes both ways. Everything is on the table. So, I'm like, oh, it's finna get good. They finna ask some real good questions. They only asked 2 damn questions. I'm like, out of all the time y'all had to do this scene, you only got time to do 2 questions. So, you know, it is what it is. So, Micah did make the first shot. And the first question he asked Davis was, you know, do you have a sex addiction? And he was like, we're going to just get right into that. What did you think, Papa Smurf? He was going to ask you what your scoring average was? No, he wanted to know why you was out here fucking them people, fucking them ladies, and being a pimp, and getting everybody on your basketball team to sleep with the same people. But, you know, he says no, he doesn't think that he has a sexual addiction. Me, personally, I don't think there's such thing as sexual addiction. I think people should have impulse control. I think you can love sex, but you should not have to cheat on, you know, a spouse or a mate, you know, and then just say, well, it's because I have a sex addiction. If you like sex, have sex with your mate. Anywho, so yeah, he says no. He says he does just think that something is wrong with him. He also admits that he has been catered to and spoiled because he's a star basketball player, that he was just used to getting things because he was a basketball star. So it was good to see him admit that he know that he took full advantage of being a star. And he also wasn't always the best person because of it. So for that, I thought that was cool. They also had Davis then, you know, shot the ball. And of course he made it because he's a basketball star. And he asked Micah, you know, did the cops rough him up in jail? Micah finally does say, you know, no, they did not rough him up. He did just admit that, you know, the whole night within this stuff was just a lot. How he felt frightened. He was scared because he had no control of anything that was happening. I still wonder if that's the true story, because after he asked that question, I was like, I hope he would then, I thought it would be, you know, maybe the son would ask another question. He would maybe ask, you know, did you ever really love mom? Or when did you stop loving mom? I thought that would be a second question for Micah to ask. I thought a second question for Davis to ask him would be, did a cellmate, you know, mess with you? Or just something, because I'm like, just to ask that the cops mess with him doesn't mean nothing happened when he was in lockup. So for me, I was hoping it would be some kind of secondary question, just so we can get a clear understanding over what's happened while he was in lockup, and we kind of, I guess, we'll just never know. But at least we know the cops didn't rough him up. But I'm like, I still wonder, did anything else happen and he just hasn't said it yet? And they kept playing basketball and no second question was asked. Those were the 2 questions. But I do think it was a good thing that Michael was able to say, I was just scared. You know, I felt out of control. You know, the whole thing was a lot for me. And he was able to say that to his father. Just on a father-son vibe, on a boy being able to be open with another, the man in his life and things like that. So, the next scene we see of Micah is when he is coming home, and Charlie's there and she's painting the walls, and he comes in and he picks up a roller and he's painting the other side of the wall. And then she's like, you want to go to the movies? And he's like, yeah, I would love that. The reason I like that scene was because he seems lighter. I think just the simple fact that he was able to say, I was scared, I felt out of control in that situation, could have been the weight lifted off of his shoulders. Also, him hanging out with his aunt and getting more of a feel of the real world. Him not being so sheltered, him seeing something completely different than what he was used to when he was living, I think, back in LA when the show first started. So, I thought all that was cool. We go with Ralph Angel as well, where he wants Darla to move in. Darla don't want to move in. She wants to be, held accountable for her own self-preservation, so to speak. She doesn't want to depend on someone else to take care of her, So she lets them know, well, no, I can take care of myself. And, we see that kind of not upsets Ralph Angel, but he wants her there. He doesn't understand why she just won't agree to be there. We see her having a conversation later on. I'm guessing it's with her, probably her life coach or her sober coach. And she's saying that she doesn't like she feels like if she moves in with Ralph Angel, that is someone else saving her. She doesn't want to have the feeling of always needing someone to save her. And I feel 2 ways about that. For one, it's not that if you move in that means someone is always saving you. You're in a rough patch right now, and he loves you and he wants the best for you. So it's different. It's not like you're asking for his help. It's not like you're out here destitute and someone's really having to come save you. He's saying, this is where I want you to be, regardless of what your situation is. It's not about you not having a job. I wanted you here before you lost your job. So for me, that was a good thing. We also then find out, well, there's a scene where Blue is in the tub and Darla's with them and they're laughing and playing, and he has his dog Kenya, and Darla's asking him why he likes Kenya so much, why is that his favorite dog. And he's like, because her hair is soft like mine and she's my best friend and she's really good at keeping secrets. You can see that kind of hurts Darla's feelings, that she wished she could be that to her son. So the next scene that we see is Blue going crazy, and we're like, what's going on? And, Darla comes in like, what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong? And Ralph Angel's like, he can't find his dog, he can't find Kenya. Darla like, I gotta tell you something. Come to find out what Darla ass undone, Darla then threw the boy doll away. Now, y'all know, Ralph Angel don't play about his damn baby. He don't play about Blue with his old sexy. Ralph Angel is so sexy. Yeah, but he don't play about Blue. So when she says it, he's pissed because he's like, why would you do that? That makes no sense. Why did you do that? And when he was asking her why, she couldn't give him a reason. And he was just pissed off, like that was just stupid to do. You can't get quiet and now you don't want to talk. Why would you do this? He then asked her, where did you throw it away at? And she tells him where she threw it away. And he storms off. But he gets loud with her just a little bit because he don't play when it comes to Blue. We all know this. So we see that he is then in the trash can looking for Blue's doll, because that is what a father does when his son or his daughter or his child wants something, and he like, I'm not gonna let my child be without what he wanted because the damn mama should have threw it in the first place. As he's in the trash can in the dumpster trying, searching through the trash for his son's doll, the police pull up, and I'm like, oh shit, they finna take my man to jail, and I gotta go bail him out. And ain't nobody got bail money today, because I know in bail in Louisiana is probably expensive. And, I ain't got time to, be getting the flights to Louisiana to bail him out of jail. So when the police pull up, I'm so stupid. I was wondering why they even pulled up, but I guess where he was is private property, and he was basically trespassing. But lucky for him, he knew one of the cops. So the next thing we see, you know, they're having a conversation about them growing up together, and it sounded like it was around middle school, high school time. And the cop is just basically thanking Ralph for being a really good friend to him at this point, at that time. And when he's asking him what's going on, you know, why he's in the trash can, like, you know, my girl threw my son's doll away, and I have to get it back. You know, he really loves his doll for some reason, and people might not understand it, but I'm gonna let my son be whoever he gonna be, and I'm gonna always support him no matter what he's going to be. For me, I think that meant his son likes to play with dolls. And to some men, if their son is playing with dolls, that is a stereotype of, that means the person could, you know, the kid could be gay, you know, that's a feminine trait and things like that. So I think it was good that Ralph Angel was saying, no matter what the reason is, my son is playing with this doll, I'm going to support him. And if he wants the doll, I'm going to get him the goddamn doll. We saw that in this episode before when they were all at dinner and the waiter questioned the fact that Blue had the doll. And Ralph Angel was pissed at that point too. But yeah, so as the cop is talking, he then says, yeah, because you let me be who I was before I knew who I was. And even once I became who I was, you were still okay with me. And I was like, oh, the cop must be gay. That's, you know, commendable. You know, because a lot of people are not, you know, at times acceptable to gay people, homosexuals, and things like that. No judgment. But come to find out, the cop is transgender. Because as he's talking, he's saying, hey, Antoinette, why your voice so deep? Come over and let me show you why. Let me show you that you're really a girl. But we can see that he's clearly a man at this point in time. He also brings up when he saw Ralph Angel one time in lockup, and he was scared that Ralph Angel might blow his cover, meaning people probably don't know he is a transgendered female, you know, from female to male. And he was like, you saw me, you just said, you know, what's up? You didn't blow my spot up, which is a good thing as well. So I thought that was a good thing to show because, you know, it was just a good thing to show. People have to be who they are, and even if you don't understand who a person is, you don't have to understand who they are to respect them. And I think that's the point of what that scene was about. You have to still respect a person and to let them be who they are. And if someone is fucking with them, you don't have to also fuck with them too. So he never found the doll. Goes back home. Darla does explain the reason she got rid of the doll was because she felt like the doll was a replacement for her, and that Blue was using it for when she wasn't well. Meaning when she was on drugs and she wasn't around, he had this doll who reminded him of his mother to be a female around or whatnot. And so she got rid of the doll because she's better now and, you know, she's around. Ralph just said that's not, you know, that don't have nothing to do with it. He know you his mama and he love you. So I thought that was a really, really good thing. We then see that Darla buys a new doll, and she's trying to get it all dirty and filthy to make it be the new Kenya to give it to Blue. And Ralph was laughing like he gonna know it's not the real doll. And, you know, as she's sitting there, her phone rings. And, you know, in the earlier scene, she did go by to see Charlie to have Charlie look over her resume to see if she can help her get her resume together to make it look better so that she can start applying for more jobs. At that point in time, Charlie just wasn't in the mood to hear it. So she did suggest that she talk to her parents, maybe ask her parents for help because her parents had gotten her jobs in the past. And Darla made it clear that her parents, you know, had disowned her basically a long time ago. So, you know, at this point in time, Charlie's now calling her to say, hey, I think I can help you, you know, with your resume, your job things or whatever. She then offers Darla the job as her office assistant. I don't know. You know, Charlie can be difficult. And, you know, Ralph Angel and you butt heads a lot. So if you and Ralph Angel are bumping heads, it will probably put Darla in the middle. She's going to have to at times choose between her boss and her man. So I would like to see how that dynamic goes, because when Darla says to him, you know, I got a job, it's with Charlie, he doesn't look happy. But he was sexy though. Yes. Not much happened with Nova. Nova was just hanging out with her baby daddy, her future husband, Dr. Dubois, all day. They, you know, did walk around. They walked around. I'm guessing, I don't know if it was to the 9th ward, but it was to an area in Louisiana that was demolished because of the Hurricane Katrina and the different floods. And they were talking about how tourists come there and pay like 45 or 50 bucks a piece to come tour the area. They ride through and look at the area, and then they go back on to their own. They go back to their own lives. I felt two ways about that statement. One thing is, you do hate when anyone comes to see an attraction, so to speak, or they come and they view something that happened just because they want to see it, and then they can say, I visited New Orleans, I saw, you know, what happened, but they don't do anything about what happened. They don't then go back and donate. They don't then try to volunteer. They don't do anything besides take pictures and then go back to their lives as if nothing ever happened. Those people I can get being upset with. But I also feel like some people come to visit to see what happened, to see how they can help, and to just get a feel for what it actually feels like to see, you know, the fact that a whole place, a whole community was destroyed, you know, and that the government didn't fully do anything to fix it after the fact. So I felt I think it's two different type of tourists who come. You know, tourists who just come to see some stuff and they don't care, they're gonna go back to their regular lives. But also people who might come to tour stuff, but then when they're home, they can be donating money from home. They can be sending over supplies. They can, you know, adopt a family or whatever it may be. But yeah, her and Dr. Dubois was hanging around. And, you know, after he admitted that he did like her while they were eating lunch earlier in the day, and that's when he asked her to go to dinner, she then showed up to his, I think maybe his hotel, and she had coffee the same way he brought coffee to her when they were in Atlanta. And she admitted that she liked him too. And then he just said to her, oh so nicely. What did he say to her? God, you're beautiful. Yes, say that, Dr. Dubois. Get your girl. That's going to be your future wife. I do like their connection. They are playing their roles really, really good. It's that unspoken connection of, you know, connect with this person on a different level, and I don't know what to do with it. I like that. So that's basically all that happened with them two. Hollywood and Aunt Vi, nothing much happened with them. You know, Aunt Vi went out trying to sell her pies. She was, of course, very, very nervous. She did tell Hollywood about Ralph Angel finding the new will, and, you know, Hollywood told her, you know, to leave it alone, to let them handle it. They are adults. Because Aunt Vi wanted to hold off on starting her pie business to tend to, you know, Nova, Ralph Angel, and Charlie. And Hollywood ain't having that shit. He put his foot down. Aunt Vi might be the oldest, but he damn sure the man in that relationship. And he shut it down. Like, nope, you know, we gon' do what we need to do, because we have our own lives to live. So that was good. You know, they do show Aunt Vi going, you know, when she went around to try to sell her pies. Well, they showed her go to one person, and that one person said no. Come to find out, everybody she went to said no. And then, you know, Aunt Vi's in the bed. She's sad. She don't want to get up. And Hollywood basically just told her, you can't let one bad day turn into two. Meaning, if you have one bad day, you have to get up and keep it moving. You know, when you start a new business, it's not going to pick up instantly. Hell, I've been on YouTube 3 months. I hit 210 subscribers today, and I'm at almost 15,000 views. It takes time to build things. You know, I'm waiting to see where I'm going to be in a year. So it was a good thing for Hollywood to say, you have to take time and know that everything is not going to be so easy. I mean, he just encouraged her. I love a man who encourages his woman. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So she does get up and she goes out to go to another person to have them try her pies. And we don't see what happened, but he did taste the pies. No one else had tasted the pies. And he liked the pies. So I'm guessing we'll see what happens in the next episode. So, that was the episode of Queen Sugar today. That was everything in my opinions on it. I'm sorry for all the hair flicking. So sorry. But that was my review for tonight's episode of Queen Sugar. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys next time. It is currently midnight. So, peace.